We're here at a fantastic AWS Energy Symposium 2024. I'm Jordan Bloom, Editorial Director at Hart Energy. I am joined by two Senior Vice Presidents at PCI Energy Solutions. In the middle, we have Shailesh Mishra.
Hi.
And to the far side, Bryan Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Really appreciate it. We're here discussing energy trading, optimization, and much more. Just to get started, can I get y'all to just tell us a little bit about your organization and your focus?
Sure. PCI is actually an independent software provider, and we've been in business of providing reliability software for energy utilities for approximately 30 plus years now. And in our relationship with AWS, which started more than 10 years ago, it was really about working and finding the right cloud partner for us. So we have software that is used by energy utilities, independent power producers globally, but we needed a cloud partner who could really take our software solutions. That's when we partnered with AWS. And today we're at a point where we are a energy competency certified partner with AWS. Our business is really serving utilities and different types of energy entities in the US, in North America, and globally. So our client base roughly reflects about 60% of US power generation capacity, approximately 70% of the Fortune 500 companies are PCI customers, obviously powered by the AWS cloud platform as well. We work with global entities, and we have our software deployed in 5 continents already and are expanding more.
Very good. I'm assuming we're pretty excited about growing power demand in the US and worldwide with what we're seeing in the industry right now. Just to get into some details, can I get y'all to maybe talk about some specific case studies with customers and challenges that needed to be solved?
Yeah, I think one way to look at, so our software is really used by energy entities who themselves are in a reliability business. So the lights have to stay on. So the nature of our software is such that it's considered a business critical application for our customers. So PCI predominantly came more from an optimization side of the house, where it is more about optimizing generation assets and portfolios. And we have several use cases where customers wanted a cutting edge optimization solution. And in the modern times, obviously, they want that application in the cloud and fully supported. So there's a good list of different type of use cases around optimizing portfolios. Some of our clients, say for example in Southeast US, have created more than, I would say, $500 million and more in just cost savings through production cost modeling. Some customers have optimized complex portfolio of variety of technologies, and that is around really solving the case for optimizing their portfolios. We do have clients who have been with PCI. We've been being a 30-year-old provider. So we've been supporting when cloud didn't exist. So some clients obviously still have a path towards migrating to cloud powered by AWS. And those migrations are actually a big deal for them because they've had that system for a lot of years and have integrated with that system in-house and other applications. So a migration project with PCI powered by AWS is sort of that once in a lifetime move that our customers do who have been legacy in-house. Other use cases are really more around whether you are a new entity joining the power markets or an existing one where you're actually joining a new wholesale market, for example. As you might know, in the West of the United States and also in Mexico, in the last few years, there's been a deregulation. What that does, it allows several of the client entities to go participate in these markets. For that, they need software and they need reliable software which they can use to timely join that market and actually scale their operations. So some of our use cases, a good example would be working with entities like RWE, for whom we took them live in all the wholesale markets in North America. In working with them in other renewable entities, it was more about expanding their operations, and at the same time creating efficiencies through automation, cost saving, by actually consolidating a lot of their applications in house. We also have a lot of use cases. Brian, maybe you might want to talk about use of our technology stack working with AWS around how we're leveraging AI, machine learning, and some of that capability.
Yes, so I lead our product teams at PCI, and 2 years ago when AI just blossomed, one of the driving questions was, what is PCI doing with AI? And we got up on stage and we said, nothing yet. We were researching, and we're really looking for problems we can solve that will improve efficiency for you, deliver real value, and not just deliver you a buzzword. 6 months ago, I was at an Hart Energy Summit, and Dr. Steve Ashby of Pacific National Labs got on stage and said, we've been researching AI since before it was popular, and it's going to do a lot of great things, but it's not going to take any operational jobs. Those things aren't here yet. Well, just 2 weeks ago, PCI did a soft launch of our new AI chatbot to help clients and people interested in the energy industry to come in and ask questions about the energy markets, how they function, what they can do, and our chatbot's able to respond and answer those questions. And so that's a solid use case that we slowly developed as we understood the technology and can bring value to the industry.
Very good. Can you maybe delve into, maybe get in the weeds or the nitty gritty or any other cliches you want to use into really how your solutions work and help your customers?
That's great. I'm going to step back a little bit in the history. We talked about 10 years ago when we first began to work with AWS. Part of that journey with AWS was about accelerating PCI speed to understand cloud technologies and adopt them. And we're in a place now where we're starting to pay that forward, or we have been paying that forward really to our customers in terms of helping them as they've transitioned from traditional on-premise data centers that utilities have had to shifting those workloads into the cloud, either partially in terms of a hybrid combination of technologies that PCI helps support, using our integration technologies in our platform stack coupled with AWS to interconnect with their legacy applications, as well as what we're migrating to them for their energy trading and optimization platforms. And then we look at all of that, not just from how do we move the bits back and forth between the operations and up and down to the markets, but how do we secure those transactions? How do we make sure from a cybersecurity perspective that we're able to protect our client's data and their interactions? And then how do we audit and check and prove that we're consistently following best practices to make sure that they're as secure as they can be in today's world?
Very good. In that vein, if you can talk a little bit about how you're leveraging this work with AWS and maybe what specific services are being utilized.
Yeah, so the first service is one that you don't directly see, which is the partnership with AWS. We interact with them a lot on a regular basis, and they're experts. And when I say they're experts, it's not just an expert in AWS. They have energy vertical experts. They have experts in their technology, experts in Gen AI, experts in infrastructure. We work with them in all those different venues to craft these solutions that we're bringing to market. Now, when you get into the tech layer, it's pretty broad: private link, EC2s, RDS. We do a lot with POCs with them and things like Bedrock and Sagemaker. So we're pretty broadly deploying AWS services within our footprint today.
Great. And what would you say maybe has made you most excited about your journey with AWS to date?
I think one of the things that come to my mind would be just the start of the relationship, and what does it take to really have a long-term partnership. And with AWS, what we find that they are actually real people who really have set a well-structured model around investing in their customers and how they can actually get ROI out of that investment. So with real people, with real focus that they bring, it really empowers us. So that was really a big factor for us. The other thing we will also say is for us as a company, predominantly in the US and expanding globally, we were fully supported for global operations and global outreach. So when we went to other countries, other parts of the world, a good example would be our work with Ørsted in Europe and taking that back and expanding in the US. AWS was always with us. So that really helped us. And maybe you can talk about the tech stack and some of the technology. Yes.
Well, I think the key is AWS there, and the fact that they are there as we go to different countries. You already mentioned five continents. We're able to outreach to customers, and if we didn't have AWS, finding a local CDN or local data service partner, and then figuring out how to set up operations there, it would become a monumental task. And AWS Task eliminates that because it's not just that they're operating in those countries, they're also operating according to standards and protocols that those countries require, and parallel lies with our own security needs. So we can just basically bring workloads on very quickly, virtualize them, convert software as code to service stack, and that is really the speed that enables us to go into another country is the value that the connection brings.
Great. What other benefits are your customers achieving with your solutions? And if you wanted to include or get into any specific measurements of success?
I think one of the biggest value proposition that we bring to our customers is really a full spectrum of software in a niche area between SCADA systems and the general ledger ERP systems. So functions for optimizing portfolios, energy trading risk management, outage management, metadata management, transmission management as well, a lot of settlements and back office functions. They're all seamlessly offered on a single integrated platform. That has been a real big value creator for our customers. Now imagine that all of that platform is seamlessly available to them in the cloud. And it's not just about availability in the cloud. As you know, we're serving a industry that is all about reliability and security. So for them, it is all the cybersecurity, scalability in the platform, and high availability that they get, which is even hard to replicate for them in in-house systems. A lot of our customers have been able to consolidate and create synergies cost-saving wise by basically leveraging one platform for their use. The other part is the cloud migration journey. So over time, they've had in-house infrastructure, data centers, other third-party software cost, and other things like that they've been able to offload by going to the cloud. In terms of more tangible benefits, obviously there's benefits that we provide from a software viewpoint, and then aided by AWS, it really enables them to create more value, both in terms of cost savings and then really efficiencies that come through automation and scalability.
I want to add that one of the measures that we're best known for among our clients is, I'm going to misuse this phrase, time to market, right? If they bring us in to help them get into a market, then that's a very binary moment. Were they able to start on time? Were their systems operational? Were they trading in the marketplace at day zero? But it doesn't stop there because the markets evolve. Energy regulations are evolving, the tech stack's evolving, and the regulatory rules are changing with it. The market dynamics are changing with it. And so as these markets are modifying their business processes and their tech stacks season after season, each time the client is challenging and expecting PCI to make that delivery again so they can continuously maintain their trading operations and be part of the energy transition. And that is probably the number one measure that our clients turn to us for, is that we keep them on track with that energy transition in the marketplace.
Very good. Well, lastly, are there any other just challenges or services or examples you want to highlight?
I think it for us now at this stage for our customers is what's next. We have done cloud migration with you, we've expanded your platform, but then they look at what is in for future perspective is really about leveraging AI, ML in right context, really handling the next generation of net zero initiatives for them, decarbonization, and how we really partner with them, both from a technology standpoint and really supporting the business needs. And for that, I think having a long-term solid business partner like AWS really allows us that platform. And obviously with a global outreach, for us, it's really about continuing that path and journey and really adding more customers and value to both sides.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights. Really, really appreciate it. Enjoyed it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us at the AWS Energy Symposium 2024. Have a great rest of the day.